Welcome. My name is Rich Pasini. Today I want to do a video about celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. I have some things I want to share with you guys I think you might find interesting, so if you could stick around, that's coming up. Thanks. Okay, what you're looking at here is Grumman. This is Northrop Grumman, and this is where the lunar module for the Apollo 11 mission was made. And when it was assembled here, I didn't remember hearing. I heard the story that it was going down the turnpike on a big flatbed thing there, and they transported it, I understand, all the way to Florida. But this is the company who built the lunar module, and that F-14 Tomcat sitting there is still there to this present day. Since then, Grumman has turned into the Grumman Studios, and I'll show you a photo of that next. From that point on, Grumman had taken on to become the Grumman Studios, and here is where they made some movies with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and a couple other movies were made here. I also believe the Sound of Music was made here as well. Grumman has changed since then. I believe they're no longer in the aerospace program, as far as I know. If they are, it's news to me, but I know the next pictures I'm going to show you, photos are, and there might be some video clips in there too, about them in celebration in Bethpage, where this takes place right now. So I'm going to show you those video clips and photos. Okay, over here you see the Grumman Corp plaque they have over here. This has been placed there since the time it went up, as you can see, from July 28th to 1969. And I believe that sign is still there. However, I don't know which part. Grumman's bought a lot of property up in Bethpage, Long Island, if you're in New York, so I don't know. And you're going to see another sign that's been dedicated, as it says over here, the birthplace of the Apollo lunar modules that landed men on the moon from July 20th, 1969 to December 11, 1972. And the next clip I'm going to be showing you is a video of the town supervisor, John Salandino, who's going to make a commemorative speech in regards to the Apollo 11 moon landing anniversary that's coming up.
Welcome to our 50th anniversary celebration of the lunar landing. Today's community celebration recognizes the work of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and those steps on the moon.
So the lunar module was known as the LEM, the L-E-M. It was built right here in Bethpage on the site of the former Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation. 50 years later, the world is now remembering that historic mission and its impact on society and on science. To celebrate this milestone, the town of Oyster Bay will now dedicate this community park, formerly known as Park B22, and it will be named Apollo Park. We will also bestow the name of the roadway at the entry as Lunar Module Way.
As far as the LEM goes, it was an amazing feat. All the world had its eyes on the United States in this great competition, and it seems that we won out, and only because of the compassion and all the work that the people at Grumman did. And I think this is a great testament, having a park right in the location where the LEM was designed.
Here I'm sharing some information that you guys might want to read a little more into in regards to the lunar module history, where it was made and stuff. And this is all from newsday.com, I believe I'm getting information from, I'm not mistaken. And if you want to read it, if you don't want to go to that website there, you could just, pause the video and, you could just read it like that there. I hope you guys like the information I'm putting out over here. I think it's pretty interesting. I got some more stuff I want to share with you guys, so I hope you can stick around. You don't find this boring. But yeah, this is what I got going on for you. And like I said, you could just keep, you could read it. You could just, pause the video and check it out for yourself, guys. All right, so we're gonna keep moving right along here. I got some stuff I want to share, talk a little about myself as well, as far as like how I got interested in space. So that's coming up, so I hope you guys could stick around. I want to also tell you about an attraction that we have over here on Long Island, so that's coming up, guys. Grumman was so proud of the Apollo 11 moon landing, they even made a New York license plate.
On July 16, 1969, the greatest engineering achievement in the history of mankind moved from promise to fulfillment. The entire world watched as Apollo 11 cleared the tower at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. For the men and women of Grumman, the sense of participation was strong and sweet. Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins, harnessed in their seats atop this 36-story high Saturn V launch vehicle, headed for the moon 250,000 miles away. Reaching an escape velocity of 24,200 miles per hour, Apollo 11, with its 3 astronauts and command, service, and lunar modules aboard, was injected into its translunar trajectory. Once the accuracy of the flight path was confirmed, the panels of the spacecraft LEM adapter were opened. This allowed the command and attached service modules to separate from the third stage, rotate 180 degrees, and dock with the Eagle. As the lunar module Eagle was pulled from the third stage, Apollo 11 finally settled into its 3-day voyage toward lunar orbit. As Apollo 11 neared its destination, the service module engine was reignited as a retro-rocket to inject the spacecraft into a circular orbit around the moon. As it descended to 80 miles above the cratered surface, Armstrong and Aldrin worked their way through the narrow docking tunnel into the LEM and activated the environmental control system. With its landing gear deployed and landing radar tested, the Eagle used its reaction control jets to separate itself from the command module. The Eagle started down. The descent engine was throttled to regulate the speed of descent. Neil Armstrong pitched the LEM downward for a better view of the lunar terrain. Assisted by onboard computers, he guided the LEM to a level area. There were just a few feet to go to landing, but Apollo 11 was running out of fuel. Less than 40 seconds of maneuvering power left.
Forward. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. Straight shadow. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. 30 seconds forward. Contact light.
And then a world
Okay,
holding its
stop.
collective breath heard.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
And to share a little about me, I started getting involved with model rocketry when I was younger. I remember building my first rocket was the Apollo Saturn V rocket. It was about 3 feet length, and I remember shooting that thing off, and it was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a pretty cool thing back then. And then as time went on, I got more involved with it. I decided to join the National Association of Rocketry, which today you could still join, okay, and it's still here. If people still want to join, this is still an active thing here, folks. And I'd be honest with you, I really was really into it. I'm no longer a member of the National Association of Rocketry, but if you are a parent out there and your kids are interested in it, you might want to check it out. That's basically all the rockets I shot off. Pretty much was the Saturn V, and like I said, I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to show you a video clip here now of a giant rocket ship, model rocket ship. Well, if you want, not a model rocket ship, it's a giant rocket ship that's been handcrafted and made by a person. And you can see it now. The video's coming up. Check it out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Okay, the reason why I'm bringing you to the Cradle of Aviation, folks, is if you're ever in the New York area, or if you have any relatives or friends that live in Long Island and you're interested in space and you got young kids or even yourself, you may want to check out the Cradle of Aviation. It's got a lot of things going on over there. As you can see over here when you visit, it's got the exhibits, it's got the planetary and drone and dome theater, the countdown to Apollo. When you click it on, these are all drop down windows here. It'll tell you a little about them. Okay, the movie, the showtime, and things that they have here you can see. All right. There's a lot to do here. I know by the time you guys see this here, it'll be over because you can see today. Today is July 21st, 2019. This is what they got going on. But, you know, in the future, you can check it out. I've checked it out. I went there with the wife and kids when they were little, and I still love it. They have a little map here how to get there. It's pretty cut and dry. If you ever come to, like I said, Long Island, New York, this Cradle Aviation is located in Nassau County, New York, Long Island. It's not in New York City, so you know, just want to let you know. Here's the museum and show combos. It's adult for $21, and the child and senior is $19. Now, I just want to let you guys know out there, as I always be honest with you, I am not getting anything for this year. Nobody from the Cradle of Aviation had called me up and said, would you do a video or a segue on our company here? And I have no affiliation with them outside of visiting there and actually enjoying the you know, the place itself, the attractions there. It's really nice. They also had the Red Planet Cafe. Now, when I was there, I don't remember the cafe. This is something new. I think they may have had it. I don't remember. They have a museum store. You could buy from the museum. If you click it on here, you can read a little more about it. That I've been to. The Nunley's Carousel, I don't recall that there. I think this is something new they're adding to it. This must be a new attraction. Now, I haven't been there in a while. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've been there. But you can see the admission is $2 per rider, and everyone in the carousel is required to have a ticket. Okay. I don't know. I'm quite sure this is still there. This is Nunley's historic carousel, but there are pretty nice things to see there. Then you got your event calendar. You could check out the event. You could also sign up for the e-newsletter. I did. I signed up for it because I do plan on going back there eventually. I would like to definitely check it out. They also have a junior jet club. You can see over here the junior jet club's interactive player for your young aviators up to 6 years of age, and you could get a little idea what that's all about. They got the times here and so on. The countdown to Apollo. This one here is the countdown to Apollo at 50, Cradle Aviation Museum. As you can see here, it says, did you know that Long Island was one of the most important regions in the country involved in the success of landing a man on the moon from 1961 to 1972? Grumman employees designed, assembled, and tested the Apollo lunar modules that successfully landed 12 men on the moon between 1969 and 1972. At that time, I was still in high school. In all, Grumman built 10 lunar modules, 7 of which went into space. 3 remain here on Earth. 1 is at the Kennedy Space Center. 1 is at the Smithsonian Museum. And the 3rd is here in the Cradle Aviation Museum, Long Island. And Grumman's role in the Apollo program focused on the Cradle Aviation Museum celebration countdown to Apollo 50. And then here's the program highlights. The space journey into the future. Then it's got the live astronomy shows. It's got space summer camps, fun contests for the kids. They also have the a little video over here. I'm not sure if this is the one I was talking about. Let me just see what this is here. It might be the same thing I want to show you, but let me see. Okay, folks, well, there you have it. There's probably some more videos here. You could check it out. I don't want to take too much of them here. If you go to their website, you could check it out for yourself. I do, however, have another video I want to show you. It's just basically highlights of the Cradle of Aviation. I think you guys would really like it. And again, if you are visiting a relative and stuff like that that lives on Long Island, or you're coming to New York, you might want to check this out, especially if you're into space or aviation. It's really interesting. They have a lot of good things going over there, and for people, you could also have parties and caterings over there as well. They got a lot of things going on over there. It's really nice, and I'm going to show you that video in a little bit, in a bit here. Basically, I think that's what I wanted to just show you here really quick. They got the, well, you could also donate. And some of the people that work here, to be honest with you, at the Cradle of Aviation, are retired Grumman employees, I was told. That the people that you see there, the older people, the gentlemen and the men and women that work there, from what I understand, those are retired Grumman employees that go there and they help and assist. It's really awesome. And when you walk into the atrium, this is what you're going to see here. You're going to see the Blue Angels, I believe it is. Yeah, the U.S. Navy. They got like aircraft hanging up in the atrium and stuff like that. It's really nice. I'm going to play the highlighted video for you guys. And again, if you're in the area, please check it out. I mean, what do you got to lose, right? I'm not going to play the video over here because this is a small one. I'm going to show you the other one, but this is the video I'm going to play, but I'm going to play it in another format so you can see it bigger. And this is what they got going on over here. Okay, so let me bump out of here, and I'm going to take you to that video over there, and then we're going to close this video out, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I took the time to make it. It took a lot longer than expected. To tell you the truth, I started doing this, getting this video, trying to get all the pieces put together around 3 o'clock, maybe a little earlier. And I didn't realize it was going to take this long. It's going on 6 p.m. over here, and I'm on the East Coast of New York. But I just wanted to do that, because like I said again, and the reason why I have an interest in it is because when I was younger, folks, just to share this little information with you guys, when I was younger, when the Apollo 11 moon landing was taking place back then, I was 11 years old, and I remember staying up late. My mom and dad, we were watching the, when Neil Armstrong made that famous, speech there, or whatever you want to call it, about one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, saying, I was 11 years old. And I remember, back then we had the black and white TV, and I remember watching it, and I was with my dad. He let me stay up late to watch it. It was in the summertime anyway, so, but I really, took an interest in it at that time, and I guess it was from that point on, I started getting more involved with. I started hearing more about about the model rocketry, about the STs. Excuse me, folks, getting dry mouth over here. Air's so dry in this place. Anyway, I started getting involved with the ST's rockets, the model rockets there, like I showed you that box there. I don't have that rockets per se anymore. It was the Saturn V rocket, and you know, back then to buy that rocket was quite a bit of money, if I'm not mistaken. It was up there in price. You got to talk. You're talking back in the late 70s, maybe late 70s, no, early 70s, maybe, and it was about 3 feet in height. And I think it took either 2 or 3 engines. I'm not really sure. The little rocket engine. You could still get them as far as I know. And I think you could still buy that rocket. I never really researched into it. But I remember it started. That's basically what what got me into it, you know, as far as like into, you know, interest with rockets. And then it was from that point on, as a matter of fact, when I used to launch that rocket, I used to go to Mitchell Field. Now, for those who don't know, Mitchell Field used to be an airfield back in near World War II. I think they, you know, in that era, that in the 40s, I should say, they used to have planes landing and taking off over there. As a matter of fact, the Spirit of St. Louis, Charles Lindbergh, where, if you ever come to New York or Long Island, where Roosevelt Field is, that's where Charles Lindbergh took off. He flew the Spirit of St. Louis there, if I'm not mistaken. That's where he took off. Like I said, if you ever come to Long Island and just New York, if you do the history or just study and sell, you know, just look things up, there is so much history here. It's phenomenal. I mean, you know, between New York City and Long Island, the socialites that live here, it's packed with a lot of history. And if you're a person that's a history buff, you would love it. I'm even thinking of doing a video, or I don't know if I'm going to do a video series or start a separate channel, but I would like to do something like that where I talk about, you know, the historic places in Long Island and in New York. I think people would find a lot of interest in there. But that's just part of it. Like I said again, where you know, Charles Lindbergh took off. That was in that area back there in Roosevelt Field. It's a mall now. Now it's a mall. But that's where he took off. And again, where I flew my rocket, back then it was open area. That's called Mitchell Field. Now they built the Marriott Hotel, the Nassau Coliseum is there, and so on and so forth. I think there may still be a little land there if you wanted to shoot stuff like that, the rockets off and stuff like that. I think you can. But then again, you know, we're talking in the 70s now. You know, I don't know the restrictions on shooting those type of rockets. They don't go that high in the air, but, you know, you might have to have a license for them. I don't know. But that's when I started getting involved with the NAR, National Association of Rocketry. It sounds like almost an NRA, right? Yeah, it's the National Association of Rocketry. That's why I posted up that website there. If people were interested in that, they could still, you know, sign up and join and become a member. I am no longer a member of it. But that's how I kind of like got started into it. And the other thing is, what's nice about it, living here and being part of, you know, not that I worked for Grumman's, you know, but just I had a neighbor that, well, since then had passed on, had designed the lunar module, the landing gear, whatever, the landing pods. He was part of the engineer on that project. He helped design it, and he lived like a couple houses away. But just the idea of being in a place like this here, living, and Grumman's, you know, Northrop Grumman, and that's called Northrop Grumman. Like I said, as far as I know, they're not making any aircrafts. I don't think they're no longer in aerospace. At least I don't know, to the best of my knowledge. As I showed you in a video, now they make movies there. Well, they do make movies there. Grumman Studios, it's called. And what they did is, I think Steven Spielberg has something to do with. Don't quote me on it. I know they filmed The Amazing Spider-Man over there. Like I said in the video, they did a movie with Angelina and Jolie. I forget the name of that movie though. You would probably know. It takes place in New York, and you could see the props there actually. Now, there's a McDonald's right across the street from the hangar, and you would see the props that they used for that movie. It's behind a chain link fence, of course. But it's like, oh wow, you know, you're sitting there eating a hamburger, and you could see the props that they're going to be. And they transport them on flatbeds and stuff like that. They had a tank there, and they had some other stuff. And that was for the movie. I think it was called Salt. I think that's the movie. I think it was called Salt. And it was filmed. It took place. They had to shoot it in Brooklyn, so on and so forth. And as a matter of fact, when they were here, from what I was reading in the local papers, when Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt were here, they were living someplace, renting a house or someplace in Oyster Bay, which is like maybe another 15, 20 minutes from that area on. And people said they seen them, well, this is what people are saying. I don't know. I didn't see them. They said they would see them in the local food store shopping, and like casual, like a natural couple, you know. I don't know if anybody went up to them, but according to the story, you know, from the paper, you know, they would be in there pushing their shopping cart around and just doing what they're doing. Don't forget, it's a temporary stay. They're just here just to make the movie, and then eventually to go back. I guess they live in California, wherever. But yeah, but they, you know, it's just there's so much stuff going on around here, and like I said again, with Grumman doing that there, being part of the Apollo 11 moon landing is something to be proud of for the people, especially the employees that work there. Like I said, the person that lived a couple houses away, he was part of that design and that engineering of the designing part of it, and I think it was pretty cool. And like I said, back then, when Grumman's was in the with building the F-14 Tomcats, believe it or not, from the town I'm in to where that place is, and that's about, I would say from here, about 15, 20 minutes away by car, of course. We used to hear the jets. You could hear them roaring back there. Now, I know you're probably saying, wait, a couple towns. You could. If it was a still, quiet day, you could hear the roaring of that, them taking off, and sometimes they fly over the house and stuff like that. You say, oh, okay, that's Grumman's. They're you know, flying their planes. I don't know whatever happened as to why they closed it down. Now, Grumman's, if you ever look on a map, an aerial view of it, there are houses around it. I mean, literally, there are houses around it. I mean, it's like putting an airport right in the middle of your block. That's basically what it's like. Seriously. When the F-15 or the F-14 Tomcats were flying in, they were flying over houses and stuff like that. I mean, that's how close it was, you know. That picture of that airplane, that jet that's there, that is there today, just to let you know, if you ever were in that area or whatever. If you go down Grumman, it's like, I don't know if it's Grumman Boulevard, whatever, you will see that jet there. It's still fixed. It's up in a thing like that there. You know, I think they had to use a crane to, of course, they used a crane to get it there, but they put it there. I wasn't there when they were lowering it down and stuff, but they still have that jet there. Again, I don't know exactly what Grumman's is doing at this point in time. I don't think they're no longer an aerospace program. As far as I know, I don't think they're building planes over there, as far as I know. And I think, I'm not sure if they moved from there due to, you know, they had other interest in doing this, you know, do other stuff, or maybe they were going to move the aircraft part of it to another area. Because I have to be honest with you folks, for the people, I'm not too far from JFK, which is an international airport, and LaGuardia. Now, for those who know New York, you know what those airports, very busy airports. You hear the jets flying over all the time over here. Okay, sometimes they do change their flight pattern, but there are times I'm making videos in here, and you could hear jets flying by one after another. Now, I'm probably about 40 minutes, to, you know, 45 minutes to an, maybe not even an hour, I'd say about 45 minutes away from JFK by car again. And when the planes are coming in, and I'm not saying they're coming in, you can see the landing gear down, but there are no, sometimes it gets annoying. And there have been people on Long Island have been complaining that the jets are making too much noise. So I don't know if Grumman scrapped that project and did it, you know, went to a place that's more open, you know, like a regular Air Force, like an airspace place, you know, like a place like an airport, you know what I'm saying, but a place where they could build those type of aircraft and they could fly them in and out without disturbing people. But I think that was the problem back then. I don't know. I can't say. I don't know why they don't. They just stopped. But yeah, I mean, and the other thing is, I don't know when it was actually being moved, but somebody told me that after the lunar module was assembled and put together and stuff like that, I think they did it. They put on, I guess, a flatbed. I guess it must have been a big flatbed truck, whatever, something big to handle that. And they would, you know, take that thing. They would drive it down to Florida. And, you know, I wasn't up to see it, of course. They probably did it in the wee hours of the morning because you got to figure people probably look. Well, it's probably covered, no doubt. I don't think they would have it open. But, you know, they would drive that thing, take it to Florida and stuff like that. And then it would go to the NASA vehicle assembly building, I guess, like that there. I believe that's what it was. And they do their thing back then. But, yeah, I wasn't, you know, besides I couldn't have seen anyway. I was a little kid, you know. I would have loved to see them transporting that thing down the turnpike. Most likely, you wouldn't have seen it would have been covered, you know. It'd probably be an attraction. People, oh, look, there's the lunar module, you know. But yeah, I wasn't, I mean, I was too young to see that there. And like I said, if it was in the wee hours of the morning, if that was the case, I wouldn't have seen it anyway because it would have probably been talked over. But yeah, I'm thinking but seriously, folks, I'm thinking about doing videos like that there. I don't know if it would be a separate channel. I'll do it on this one here, but I really would like to talk about New York history, about all the things, the sites. Keep them not too long. I know people say, oh my gosh, if I know this guy's going to keep them on for an hour, 2 hours. No, I wouldn't do that there. I would probably just pick one particular topic, maybe like a little 5-minute, 10-minute thing, talk about it a little, and then that's it. But I'm thinking of doing that there in lieu of my YouTube channel. Like I said earlier, folks, in my other videos, my YouTube channel is going to be a very diversified channel. It's not going to be about one particular thing. So I hope you guys can expect that. And if you do like my videos, and you get a takeaway from them or whatever, like I said, I'll still be doing a reseller news and let's talk eBay stuff, but I'm not going to say that's going to fade away, but I would like to get more into doing different content and something that may be more appealing to people. I'm not saying people people like the reseller news or not. I never heard anything really bad about it. I never heard someone saying, hey, that reseller news, I don't like it, don't do it anymore. I never heard anything like that. So I mean, I'm going to still do that stuff, but this is just, I've been wanting to do this since the 50th anniversary came up. I just never got around to it. It would have been nice if I would have done it actually the day they celebrated it. I'm not too far off. I'm a day off, right? July 20th, right? That said July 20th, 1969. So, I would have liked to have done it sooner, or prep it, But it did take a long time, though, folks. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I was looking for photos, pictures. I was trying to get things to, put up here to make this thing work, And I don't know. I know what it's all put together. I don't know what's going to work. Look, I'm not a professional here, okay? So if my videos come out amateurish, I am an amateur at it, okay? I'm still learning the aspects behind doing video editing and stuff, so I'm not a professional, as you guys know. I do like to do special effects and stuff like that. I like adding backgrounds, as you guys know. I'm always going to do that there. Not that, I love backgrounds. I like adding special effects in some cases. So I'm still learning. So if my videos are below par, I'm sorry, I apologize about that, but I am trying. I'm trying to, do the best I can. I'm still learning here, folks, so it's still a learning process. But anyway, I hope you like this video, and I hope it kind of give you a little more information, you got a little takeaway from it. And I just want to say one thing in closing. If you do visit Long Island, like I said again, if you do have friends or relatives that live out here, and let's say you're coming into town and you got young kids, you might want to make a day out of it. Check out the Cradle Aviation, folks. It's not too expensive to get into it. As you can see the price there. You can also go to the website. You can read more about it. I just showed you just some of the highlighted stuff. Check it out. You have a nice time. What could you lose, right? I mean, it's if you like, especially if you like space and stuff like that, or aviation, I think it'd be great for kids. I took my girls there when they were younger. They liked it, and I mean, now they're in their 20s. I don't think they want to go back again. Hey, Dad, I don't want to go there again. I went there, we seen them when we were little, but I think they're adding new stuff to it, so to be honest with you, to me, it seems like that. Like I said, I haven't been there in a while, I mean, to be honest with you, but I definitely would like to go back and check it out and see what new things they added there. You don't have to just be for kids, it could be for adults as well. And just walk around there. They got a lot of nice things there. It really is. If you really like I said again, if you're into space and aviation, you definitely should check it out while you're here on Long Island. But anyway, guys, listen, I don't want to take too much of your time. It's going on 7:30 over here. Oh no, actually, it's going at 6:30 p.m. here on the East Coast time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a reseller news. If I do, I might just do a brief one. I don't know right now. This video is going to take some time to compile. Yesterday, that video I did, the first one I did there, the one was about an hour and 8 minutes long. That took about 3 hours to compile and then upload. So the longer the videos run, and the longer it takes to compile them. So I do apologize about that, folks. But I do hope you like this video, though. I really do. And you know what? I'm going to close this video out with those famous words from Neil Armstrong. But not coming from me. It's going to come from him. Thank you so much for sticking around and checking out my video. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. My name is Rich Pasini. Until next time, bye-bye now.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.